what are the international issues you want to pick for today's discussion, as Ali Ahmed is here to contribute?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kanchan. A warm welcome to Mr. Ali Ahmed and, of course, retired squadron leader Sheikh Firdaus Mahmood to be in our studio today. Of course, we are all in a state of mourning this tragic incident that took place yesterday. However, in international news, we have some top stories. 25 countries, including the EU, condemn inhuman killing of civilians in Gaza. This comes in as Israel strikes kill 46 Palestinians in Gaza over the last 24 hours. Alongside, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation is to hold an emergency meeting later this week to discuss the ongoing Israeli assault. Alongside, the Kremlin on Monday said the Azerbaijan and Russia have entered a difficult period in bilateral trade. So it's safe to say there is a lot of news going on in the entire planet.
Sir, I just want to know that a high-level investigatory committee has been assembled by the Bangladesh Air Force and ISPR both to determine the mechanical and systematic causes of the crash. I must go for this question to squadron leader, but I just need your opinion that the way the civilians has dealt the issues on the spot, on the ground, do you find something ridiculous? People are burning and some people are doing videos.
Thank you for your question and allowing me to speak on this matter. Well, I want to pay my respects to a teacher who was there saving the innocent students. She risked her own life. She was known as Ms. Mahirin Chaudhary. She was protecting and evacuating students with succumbing to 80% burn injuries. She was taken into the burn unit, but she succumbed to her injuries and she passed away late last night. And of course, this individual story had taken a storm through the social media, and even now when we open social media we see messages of grief on her end. And not only so, in such a tragedy we understand how society is broken. In my opinion, I would say such a devastating incident had occurred. Many of those who weren't affected, they were just standing there, not preparing, not doing what is necessary to protect and to get all the injured people out of that building. They were only there to video and to comment and to stand and do nothing. So that it shows us that there is a society that definitely needs reparations. Not just that, to some aspect, when many media houses were there, they were trying to get the news to the general people so that much of the lives could be saved. Even now, as we were starting this show, one after one, the casualties seem to be rising. Of course, the government of Bangladesh currently had given a state day of mourning, much expected. However, even now, forensic science and forensic studies are required to understand exactly what went wrong in that aircraft that was being used on the test flight. Of course, and Mr. Tokir Islam lost his life. As you know, he tried his level best, to my understanding, to avoid a mass scale injury. However, this opens up a new category of things that policymakers should discuss. One of the issues that Mr. Firdaus Mahmood had picked out was the proximity of the runway to the school. That's not just the only issue over here. The issue could also be all the schools in Dhaka city and across Bangladesh, whether they teach the students the idea of evacuation, the idea of what safety practices are, whether or not these facilities are fully maintained with fire standards or not. Because even if there is a 1 in a million chance of an aircraft plunging into a school, we have seen that even that one chance cannot be risked. We now come to see that the death toll was initially reported at 19, but now it's only on a climbing ladder. So it's a day of tragedy which the great Bangladesh nation should learn from, actually, in my opinion.
Very expert few things, severe failure of supply chain, severe economic turmoil, severe imbalance of trade, so many things he raised, Ali Ahmed. I want to know, Bangladesh is also sufferer. 37% tariffs imposed on Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has done a very poor, I must say very poor negotiation with only 2%. There are another 16% hidden tariffs previously imposed. I just want to know, from your perspective, how Bangladesh should face these tariff breaks?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kanchan. Right now, from what I remember, before the negotiation, the tariff stood at 37%, and post the negotiation, it arrived at 35%. A minuscule change in the face of such big names such as US and, of course, Bangladesh. At this moment, we only have another 8 days before those executive orders take place from August 1st, according to Donald Trump. Much of this will definitely have an impact on our economy. Our exporting factors are going to get hampered. And not only so, at this moment, the last 12 months, who are the real warriors that have pulled back up Bangladesh on the international stage? And I would definitely give credit to the remittance soldiers that are out there in the various Middle Eastern countries, various Latin American countries as well, even in Europe. They have proved to the nation that they should be a part of the election process as well. As calls for their involvement in the election, voting is also being raised. Of course, they have, because of their contribution to our country's economy, our reserve level has also increased. But back at your original question, how this tariff will have an effect on Bangladesh, it will definitely have a negative impact towards our exports and towards our entire balance of payments as well. And of course, the foreign currency, US dollar, I still remember not so many years ago, it was at 84 taka, $1. Today, that amount stands at 120. Either we have done something wrong, or if not, the American dollar has done something wrong. And in my opinion, that would be towards us, Bangladesh. So there has been some kind of policy change that has allowed such an increase of the greenback against the Bangladeshi taka as well.